After 8 days of being locked out of their building, employees at the South Carolina Arts Commission were back at work Thursday, thanks to state lawmakers. And if that isn't tough enough, each deputy has to wear a vest which adds about 20 pounds of weight during the workout. They say it helps emulate real-life scenarios. So what makes the new 9mm a better weapon than the old .45? Well, it's got a better grip, it's more accurate, and it holds 18 rounds instead of just 9. Now, each pair of shoe represents about 8 South Carolinians that are disabled and waiting on services like day programs, personal and respite care, and supplies. Altogether, that totals about 8,000 residents. People in the community are also excited about getting rid of these old abandoned homes. They say it'll keep their property values high and bring in new residents and businesses. If the Gamecocks go on to win the regional, they'll be one of 8 teams in the country to host a super regional, meaning more money will come to the capital city. Cooper is receiving a $268,000 severance package from the school. The board will begin looking for both interim and permanent presidents immediately. After 8 days of being locked out of their building, employees at the South Carolina Arts Commission were back at work Thursday, thanks to state lawmakers.
Good morning, South Carolina Arts Commission. This is Susan.
It was a busy day of catching up on work for Susan Duplessis and 19 other employees at the State Arts Commission. State lawmakers voted 110-5 to override Governor Haley's veto, cutting the agency as part of her proposed budget for the new fiscal year.
We're just thrilled to be back at work, to be able to be at our desk, at our computers, and to be able to connect with our constituents.
The agency promotes and supports many forms of art in the state and also provides funding grants. South Carolina would have been the only state in the country without an arts commission if the veto had been sustained. Governor Haley still defends her decision, saying the delay on a budget vote by lawmakers did not help.
We didn't ask them to wait till the last minute. I didn't appreciate having so few days and having it go over year end to have to deal with that, but I can't control what the legislature does. It's not that we don't like the arts, but you have to question the fact you got 18 people in an 18,000 square foot building, a director making 100,000. There's a lot of other things that could be going for.
In 2010, the state invested more than $2 million in the commission, generating more than $80 million in local matching funds, according to the agency. The commission has been on the budget crosshairs for the past couple of years, but advocates like Rusty Socks say the arts are valuable to states.
But it also needs to include good quality of life components so that South Carolina is a great place to live and work and visit and get an education, and the arts are a key part of that.
We're here to help the state thrive, and that's the work that we're doing in communities with artists. We make the state better. And
thanks to a last-minute save, they will keep doing that work. In Columbia, Zoheb Hassanali, WACH Fox News. It was Christmas in August for Columbia Police Chief Randy Scott and his officers, the department unveiling their new 9mm handguns courtesy of FN Manufacturing based in Columbia.
Not only are we providing our police officers with a world-class custom firearm, but we're doing it better and cheaper than before and supporting a local business in the process.
The new pistols cost about $400 compared to the current ones that cost $600. The department currently has more than 220 new handguns, and every officer is expected to have one by February.
And you can't imagine the savings to our city taxpayers with this upgrade. It's almost virtue of 40 to 50% savings that we were able to do.
So what makes the new 9mm a better weapon than the old .45? Well, it's got a better grip, it's more accurate, and it holds 18 rounds instead of just 9. Chief Scott says all of those factors can mean the difference between life and death.
I don't want to wake up and have to answer the question why an officer ran out of rounds, and why did a suspect have a weapon that had more firepower and more round capacity than my officers.
The officers say there's also less recoil shooting a 9mm as opposed to a .45. I tried it out myself and was surprised at the low impact when I pulled the trigger.
We are thrilled for the opportunity to support the City of Columbia and the police department and to be working with Chief Scott and his folks.
A partnership both sides believe will keep residents even safer. In Columbia, Zoheb Hassanali, WACH Fox News.
For 1 minute straight, you're going to do wall balls, all right? Try to keep track of your reps.
6 a.m. means the start of another 2-hour workout for Scott Puckett and 10 other Richland County deputies.
Throw it back up, or try to throw with your arms.
The department, including Sheriff Leon Lott, will be going to a SEAL Fit camp in California next month to take part in a 50-hour non-stop intensive course led by a former Navy SEAL. SEALFIT waived the fee for deputies, and the department is paying for airfare with seized drug money. SEALFIT is similar to CrossFit with one exception.
Some workouts in CrossFit would last anywhere between 5 minutes to an hour. These workouts will last anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours, some longer.
To get ready for the grueling event, the members recently locked themselves in and exercised for 12 hours straight. They also did team drills in Myrtle Beach by carrying 300-pound logs at the beach.
After a certain point, it becomes mental. Your body's just going to have to keep going, and I think that's where your mental preparation comes in, just trying to survive it.
Monday's workout, called the Fight Gone Bad, consisted of 5 exercises for 15 minutes. Deputies had to rotate stations every minute and go 100% the entire time. And if that isn't tough enough, each deputy has to wear a vest which adds about 20 pounds of weight during the workout. They say it helps emulate real-life scenarios.
Some of those vests are actually heavier than what we carry on duty. It does make it a lot easier when you're on the field, when you are having to chase a suspect. Your legs are not as tired, your body's sort of used to it.
They were exhausted when it was over, but know it'll add longevity to their careers.
If you're prepared physically for the job, you're very prepared mentally, and you're confident in your abilities, so whatever stress that might come along with the job is not as taxing on the body and the mind.
A job these competitive men and women want to be in the best shape for when duty calls. In Columbia, Zoheb Hassanali, WACH Fox News.
As to the charge of unlawful conduct towards a child in violation of this South Carolina code, we, the jury, unanimously found the defendant guilty.
After 2 weeks of testimony, evidence, and audio recordings, it took jurors just 2 hours of deliberations to convict Zena Jennings on an unlawful conduct toward a child charge. Jennings' son Amir was last seen November 29th. Police say the 23-year-old will not tell them where the boy is. Zena's mother, Jocelyn, begging the court for mercy before her daughter was sentenced.
I noticed that it was difficult. I noticed that she was depressed. I noticed that my daughter needed help.
Jennings' attorney Hemphill Pride argued his client, who was deemed mentally ill, should be not given the maximum 10-year sentence and was only being held by authorities because she wouldn't cooperate with the police.
Got to give her credit for the fact that she's 23 years old. She doesn't have any prior criminal record. Give her credit for the fact that, you know, she didn't run and hide. She turned herself in.
Zena Jennings did not speak during sentencing, her attorney and mother talking on her behalf, arguing she was going through a lot.
I had a client to work with who was pregnant, who was mentally ill, and who was under a lot of stress in her life.
Amir Jennings' father did not speak in court, but had a family spokesperson ask Judge Knox McMahon to give Zena Jennings the maximum 10-year sentence. McMahon did that, giving Jennings credit for 9 months served. Prosecutors declined to comment after the sentencing, but Pride expressed disappointment that very little went his client's way. Jennings' attorney says he's not sure whether he plans on appealing the decision. In Columbia, Zoheb Hassanali, WACH Fox News. 89-year-old George Epting served in the Navy and spent time in Okinawa, Japan during World War II. Thanks to the Honor Flight program, the Newberry Man and dozens of other veterans traveled to Washington, D.C. Wednesday to visit a memorial honoring their service.
See how things have changed in my lifetime, and it's an honor to be.
Epting and this group spent an emotional 90 minutes at the World War II Memorial Wednesday, taking pictures, sharing stories, and remembering their service.
Oh, I think it's wonderful. I think it's nice to have all these people out, especially old World War II veterans that have been through a lot. It's emotional. It's an honor to see people honor you for what you did.
Even veterans that did not deploy overseas came to pay their respects.
I came to honor my people, my friends that did get overseas and didn't return. And there were many of them. That's why I'm here today, is to celebrate for them and also to show respect for those that passed away.
The group was also given a tour of the nation's capital, making stops at the Lincoln, Korean, and Vietnam memorials, as well as Arlington National Cemetery, where they witnessed the changing of the guard at the tomb of the unknown soldier. Epting says the military has always been a strong tradition in America and hopes future generations keep it that way.
I wanted to see how things was, and they get an idea of what we went through, but we're proud of our forces now.
The day ended with a welcome back ceremony from Lieutenant Governor Glenn McConnell when the group came back to Columbia, along with a large welcoming party at the airport lobby. It's a day these men will never forget, a special way to show the nation's appreciation from the capital city to the nation's capital. In Columbia, Zoheb Hassanali, Watch Fox News.
We came out here last night about 11 o'clock and got about an hour's worth of sleep. We couldn't really sleep because, I mean, everybody was really like partying pretty much. Everybody was yelling, screaming.
It's between the hedges, and we're here at Williamsburg Stadium. It's the border war.
Go Dogs! Woo, woo, woo. Number one!
We're barking everywhere, man. Go Dogs! Clowney's pretty good, but I think our offensive line will hold them up and get by.
We've seen a few, and they know that we don't like them around here, baby. It's Gamecock Nation!
This is fabulous for what's coming to our university, and that we're having a game day here, and we're excited because we're really shooting this year for going to the SEC championship.
It's been nuts all day. I know. We've been with our Gamecocks. I'm loving it.
I really want to see Lee put that Gamecock head on today that he picks Gamecocks to win tonight.